The third type of tweet that you can do is a thread. And a lot of people get it wrong. They think if you do a thread, you will be boosted in the algorithm. For some magical reason, threads are supposed to be high performing tweets, so everybody do them now. And as a result, we're all tired of threads. We don't want to see them anymore. And it's very unlikely that I will open a thread when I see it because I think, okay, it's again someone trying to cheat the algorithm and grow faster. When beginners try to do threads, I see them always do the same thing. They start from a blog post or a longer thought that they had, and they just convert it into like 7 tweets that are following each other to tell kind of a story. But it's the most boring kind of thing we can read on Twitter. The key to a good thread is to not make a long tweet. It's to make a collection of short tweets. That's what a thread is. It's not one idea. It's 5 ideas linked together. Every tweet in the thread needs to have value on its own. So that's why it's so hard to do a good one. If you want to do a thread with 5 tweets, you have to spend 5 times more energy than if you were doing just a single tweet. Because if you want a thread to really get boosted by the algorithm and be successful, every part of your thread needs to be valuable. Most of the times, threads are just a lazy way to do a tweet. You're too lazy to make your thought clear and simple to understand. So you're splitting it up in multiple tweets. But this is never going to work. Twitter is amazing because it gives you the constraints that you need to make your thoughts shorter. So it has some downsides, obviously, where you can't always be nuanced about things, and that's a problem, but at least it forces you to get to the point. And on Twitter, if you don't get to the point, you're dead. So if you make a thread that's just one long idea and we're slogging through it to understand one thing, you're not going to get viral. However, if you really have something to say about a topic and it's covering a lot of areas, and then you need to make actually like 6 tweets to make it clear, and each of these tweets is about one specific part of the same topic, and it's all related to it together in a beautiful collection of standalone tweets, then you will get viral. When you do an actually good thread, what's going to happen is people are going to like more than one part of the thread. So like if you have one tweet and somebody likes the tweet, that's one engagement. But if you have a quality thread, someone might like every tweet of the thread. So for one single unit in Twitter, which is one thread, you will have 10 likes from the same person. So it's going to be seen as 10 times more valuable by the algorithm, and it's going to start showing everywhere. So that's why threads are so powerful. But don't be fooled by it. If you don't make a high quality thread, if you don't spend time actually making it 10 times more valuable than an actual tweet, it's not going to get you very far. When you do a thread, you only need to add the topic keyword to the first tweet because that's what's going to get trending. So you don't need to like force yourself to add the keyword you're targeting to every part of the thread. Just do the first tweet and it will be fine. This first thread I want to look at is, again, a collection of short tweets. It's basically a thread about business advice, 47 of them. And what this guy does is that every single part of the thread is a standalone tweet. All of these tweets are self-contained. He could tweet them as is, and he could have success with these tweets as is. But because he put them in a thread, even though these tweets only get relatively 2,000 likes or 1,000 likes, the fact that they're all linked together compounds, and so the main tweet is going to have 34,000 likes. So again, he's doing it perfectly here because every tweet is awesome, but because he's making a thread and collecting them all in one go, he's getting the benefit of compound likes. So every time someone likes more than one tweet of the thread, he gets boosted because the top tweet from the thread gets even more impressions. Another thread, which is actually the second thread I did in my life, and because I don't do many of them, is a thread where I put my 10 best memes to tell the story of a startup. And by doing so, I had a lot of success. I had more than 18K likes because, again, every single tweet in the thread is interesting. You can see 900 likes, 1,700, 1,000, almost 1,000. And every time someone likes more than one of these tweets, it's bringing up the thread. Because if you don't make a thread like this, you will see that the likes go down with every tweet. But when every tweet is itself valuable, the number of likes is kind of maintained between tweets. Like 1,600, 800, back to 1,200, 1,200, and then I promoted my startup. But basically what you do is by making sure every tweet is valuable, it's going to boost the main tweet, and then you get 10 times more visibility. One last way you can do a thread that I'm not going to go in depth with because I am not an expert is doing a story. This guy got super successful because he's basically telling a crazy story about how short life is. But you need to be a storyteller to do this. You need to be very good at writing or copywriting if you want to be able to pull off something like this. So I'm not going to go too much in depth because I don't have really any experience with this, but I just wanted to tell you that it's either you do a collection of short tweets that are all very valuable, or you write a story that is so interesting, so unique, and so brilliant that people will love it. But it's very uncommon. So if you want to actually use threads to grow, I would suggest you go with the collection of tweets because it's much easier to do. So basically the rule to follow is most of the times, don't do a thread. It's super hard to do if you want to do it right. And you're going to grow faster by doing a short tweet, and focusing on bringing value in this kind of space. To give you an idea, in my first year of Twitter, I only did one thread. That was back in August 2021 when I had less than 2,000 followers, but I spent one day writing this thread. This was like 5 tweets, and each of these tweets were high quality and bringing value on its own. Result, I got more than 1,000 likes, even though I had only less than 2,000 followers. And I got a lot of respect and people thanking me because of the value I bring. But if your thread isn't bringing 5 times or 10 times more value than a tweet, don't do a thread. Stick with a tweet. You're going to waste your time trying to do something because you think it's going to work with the algo, but it's not. It's very unlikely.